Hey, welcome to Paint and Draw with Tom. I'm Tom Neiman, and today we're doing a quick little video showing the recreation or study of the great painting called Joseph the Carpenter, which originally was an oil painting created by Georges de la Tour, circa 1642, depicting young Jesus with Saint Joseph, his earthly father. In this case, in this scene, as you see me rendering it on a time-lapse basis, I'll slow it down as we get closer to the end so you can see some of the details. Joseph is drilling a piece of wood with an auger, working in the evening or the nighttime, and the shape of the auger is said to reflect the shape of the cross, and the geometry of the wood arrayed on the floor, set crosswise to the seated child Christ, is foreshadowing the crucifixion. John Rupert Martin wrote that Jesus' patience represents the filial obedience and the acceptance of his destiny as a martyr. This painting, once again created in 1642, is one of several tenebrist paintings by de la Tour. Others include The Education of the Virgin, The Penitent Magdalene, The Dream of Saint Joseph, all of which I intend to cover in studies like this one, perhaps maybe if the opportunity arises on a much larger scale. In all of these works, a single strong light source is the central element, surrounded by cast shadows. In this case, both Joseph the Carpenter and The Education of the Virgin, the young Christ is represented hand raised as if in benediction, with the candlelight shining through the flesh as an allegorical reference to Christ as the light of the world. And this all can be found on Wikipedia, along with other details that speak a little bit more deeply than I'm naturally capable of with regards to the religious or spiritual messages found within these paintings. I took a really simple approach in this study. I opened up my oil painting journal, which is nothing more than a sketch pad with heavier paper. I covered pages with black acrylic gesso, let them dry. And I'm using this first page here that I'm painting on currently, using oil paints that are left over from a plein air painting that I started some time ago out in the field. Much of the paint is largely dried or semi-dried, so I'm at the point where I'm in desperate need of cleaning my palette. So instead of letting whatever paint is left that's moist enough to paint with go to waste, I'm gonna get some study time in and try and get a better understanding as to how a painting of this nature is created, in hopes that maybe someday I could tackle a work as wonderful as this. This really is a great painting. I imagine, depending upon the viewer, it probably has subtly different meanings. For me, it's kind of that symbiotic relationship between child and parent, son and father, daughter, mother, so on and so forth, where in this case, the father is leading by example, doing work. Definitely, he's at this stage of his life kind of portrayed as an older gentleman, and he's doing the work that he needs to do in order to provide, financial security for his family, and showing his son, in this case Jesus, one way with which he can exist in the world, and how small tasks could actually be kind of a wonderful tribute to life itself. So that's the meaning that I internally kind of get a sense for from this painting, outside of the allegorical things that were mentioned earlier. And it's quite fun pulling this together. Used one brush, which was, I believe, a number 1 round brush. I just kept continually cleaning it, and I've also, as you can see here, I use a Q-tip to soften some edges and scrape some excess paint away from time to time. So keeping it simple, the palette is a very muddy, mixed up palette because it was used in the field for 2 paintings. It consists of a couple of my go-to pigments, including pigments such as transparent red oxide. We have titanium white. We have gamboge yellow. We also have cadmium red, cadmium yellow. In addition to that, we have cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, Naples yellow, and also some sap green and plant green. So it's kind of mixed up, and just going on instinct here. Really just focusing in on experimenting with the light effects and the use of foreshortening to help create depth, and playing around on a much smaller scale. My sketchbook is 11 by 14, and I carved out a little space on that gessoed sheet, which is quite a bit smaller, so it's probably closer to, I would say, 8 by 10. And the original painting was quite a bit larger. So Georges de la Tour, his original painting, which hangs in the Louvre, I understand, at this point in time, was 130 centimeters by 100 centimeters, or 51 1/8 inches by 31 3/4 inches. So quite a bit larger than my study here, which gives you the opportunity to spend quite a bit more time focusing on rendering significant detail. My effort here is quite a bit rougher than the original for sure. So just making my way through, putting some of the final highlights in, and we'll wrap this up. And I will put this within the playlist that I've created for my long-term series called Tent of Abraham, where I'm going to try and create paintings and other artwork that pay tribute to the most uplifting stories that I can find amongst the three large religions that fall, that kind of tree up into the story of Abraham. So these will be stories from the Bible, from the Torah and the Quran. And this definitely is an uplifting story to me, the relationship between Joseph and Jesus. There's quite a bit we can take from that. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of this. If you did, please like and share and subscribe. I hope you stay well. And hopefully we'll see you again next time.